You know, one thing about the music industry is once you become a big artist and you continue to use the tradition way that they usually do music with like artists and stuff, you're gonna be fine with them, but you're gonna be limited to a lot of resources that you will require in your career. But if you take the non-tradition way of doing things, which I think the BTS has done, it's gonna make them, it's gonna make the industry terrified of them, right? So we're gonna be watching this video. You guys have recommended a lot that I check out the Bora City channel and see why the industry, other stuff. I'll check out the other video, but this one is why the music industry is terrified of them. And let's see why. Okay, let's get it. Hope you guys, are having a great day. It's a super sunny day today, so I just decided, hey, let me drop some content, before I go out and have some fun. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys do, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your bell notification to get notified whenever I drop. But yeah, let's get back into it.
On April 3rd, Jimin of BTS became the first South Korean soloist to debut at #1 on the world's biggest music chart, the Billboard Hot 100. His song Like Crazy became the 7th song ever by a Korean act to reach #1. The other 6 songs are BTS's songs. So all of the Korean songs that reach #1 are from BTS and BTS members only. Actually, all the songs from Asian artists that debut at #1 are from BTS and BTS members only. And believe it or not, this is extremely scary for the music industry. Since BTS entered the Hot 100's top 10 for the first time in 2018, the music industry has done everything in their power to prevent them from getting #1 songs. But why does BTS keep succeeding despite literally being one of the most sabotaged artists?
Do you want me to answer that? Why they keep succeeding? At least from my point of view, not that I know, but at least to me, I feel like they actually give genuine good music. Like they don't just go out there to just, like I mentioned this a bunch of times, they don't just do it for the trend. They do it to actually fulfill what they feel like they need to in that moment that they're in, which is good, you know and they do it in like such a, I don't even know how to describe it. They do it in such a beyond expected creativity, like they're just way beyond. Like I told you, like they probably work, better when, they look at the previous work and say, okay, we can do better than this, and actually do it way better than, the previous work, But at least that's my point of view why I think they succeeded in the industry rapidly so fast. But let's get to it and see what they say.
In the industry. And why would all these music entities work together to harm one artist? Isn't this simply paranoia for BTS fans? The industry's actions say something very clear. BTS cannot be at the top, and they don't try to hide this anymore. Everyone can see the industry's obvious intentions by looking at the times they come up with a weird new rule that prevents BTS from succeeding in their charts. Just look at the latest one. Jimin's song Like Crazy got a #1 in its first week, and it was predicted to stay in the top 10 for its second week. Jimin was achieving the same debut numbers of Olivia Rodrigo, but without the industry support. And this obviously was not the industry's plan. So Billboard decided to change one specific rule that benefits Jimin, so him and only him can fall from the charts, and the rest of it stays exactly the same. It's still unknown what Billboard did exactly to make the best-selling song of the week go from 100,000 sales to 14,000 sales. Maybe Billboard didn't just want Jimin to not be in the top 10.
That's kind of messed up in a way, like, yeah, I don't know, man. But it kind of, I guess, this is where, like, people true color kind of show where, they made a certain rule to like benefit from it. But somebody comes and like, makes it look like it was nothing at all. Like to other artists it wasn't doable. Like you saw, like they couldn't do what Jimin did. But when he came in, he made it like seems effortlessly, right? So the fact that that happened, it makes them feel embarrassed, and it to them it just feel like, okay, this person, if this person did it once, what makes them not do it the second time or even more than once, right? So they make a certain rule that will prevent that. But obviously I might be wrong, but that's what I think they're trying to do. You know, they're trying to not make it only one person that, you know, just break the record every other time. So let's see what they say though.
They wanted him to free fall. So why filter 60% of the song's sales so he can fall from the top 10 when you can cut 90% of the song's sales and make him have the biggest fall ever? Maybe they didn't just want to take his accomplishment away. They wanted to send a message. They wanted to show who is really in charge. Not the fans consuming the music, but the industry itself. This is not the first time they've done this. Whenever they want a song to fall on the charts, they apply a new rule that applies to one artist, and then they forget about this rule for the following weeks until once again an artist they don't want to be at the top is at the top. So they apply one specific.
You know, that's kind of messed up in a way, like the fact that, you know, they changed the rule in the moment where it's not when it's not needed to be changed. Like, why do that when, you know, it's gonna affect artists a lot? Why don't you do it when, you know, it's the perfect time, you know, where anybody won't be affected at all? But, you know, that's why it kind of brings us to this title of the song.
Rule that can help them fall. Allegedly, of course, because the only explanation to delete 90% of a song's sales is for Luminate, which tracks these numbers, to track each payment by looking at IP addresses and credit card information. And that's illegal, and Billboard would never, of course. So why would the whole industry go out of their ways to prevent one artist from succeeding?
Okay, we get it. The food looks yummy, right? So this movie, I wanted to watch it so bad.
BTS's biggest advantage and disadvantage is that they are successful without the industry's support. And the industry has built an environment where you can only win if you accept to play the industry's game.
Isn't that what I just said at the beginning? That's the tradition way, right? If you don't take the tradition way, then you're pretty much against them, and they're gonna use everything to, you know, get in your way. Even though you're successful, they're still gonna, you know, block you anywhere you go. Man, that's...
other words, the industry chooses its winners from the very beginning and sabotages other players who find alternative ways to defeat others at their own game. I would say that the biggest artists who do this are BTS, and it's because of ARMY's power. BTS is not simply a one-hit artist, they are at the core of pop culture, and they did this without industry support. Not the K-pop industry support, not the Western industry support. BTS were able to get to the top of the music industry without the music industry making a profit out of them. That's why BTS are a problem. That's what the industry cannot stand. Just compare Psy's situation with BTS's situation. When Gangnam Style by Psy became globally popular, the music industry was not afraid of a Korean singer becoming popular in the West because everyone assumed it was a one-time thing. But when BTS became globally popular, the story was different. The Western industry was first okay with them being a one-hit artist. They were fine with BTS being the weird phenomenon that people will grow out of after some time. But when they didn't disappear and they actually started defeating Western artists, the music industry got worried.
When I first heard something Korean had exploded in America, I got worried.
The entertainment industry is usually happy to celebrate international and independent artists and scream diversity as long as one, it's a one-time thing, or two, artists obey the industry's rules and give the industry some profit. The Oscars were fine celebrating Bong Joon-ho's movie because even though they don't profit from the movie's success, at least Bong Joon-ho is not an artist releasing multiple successful projects a year.
Also, obviously this is the last thing you ever want to bring in, but, you know, when it comes to, you know, other international artists, you know, making it into America or whatever, like globally, it usually becomes a race thing after that. You know, like that's the only place we can like hit the bottom line to. Like it's always a race thing. It's either like, you know, letting this guy win the Oscar or whatever. It's usually the race thing, because there's were like a lot of movies that he already did that, you know, deserved it, or, you know, he deserved it even way earlier, but, you know, they didn't do it because, you know, they have priorities of who they wanted to win it. You know, it become a race thing. I think that's the same thing with BTS, and it also becomes, you know, who has the most clout. That's what they need. They need attention, and to do that, they gotta use the artists themselves, like what the artists got from their fans, to bring it to their own. And if that is done, and then they're like, okay, that's enough. We already used what we needed. Then they just get rid of you. But then BTS is just different. Even if you put them on the set, they're still gonna succeed regardless, or find a way to come back around, right? It's crazy.
Year. Parasite was a one-time thing that indirectly could help his other movies from American production companies. The Emmys were happy giving Squid Games multiple awards because at least the show was being produced by Netflix and the actors were happy to accept offers from the Western industry. In other words, the Western industry got benefits from the success of a foreign series, so it was fine to celebrate them. Everything Everywhere All at Once.
You see, when I'm still in college, but when I was taking my English classes, we talked about this, right? Is it okay for n- the person who isn't from that country? Is it okay for them to make a movie or like something about that country? You know, uh, and I feel like that's the same thing that applies here, right? Like the industry, just in general, when it comes to movies too, like they tend not to use the foreign country resources. They tend to just make their own stuff and like make a movie out of it, and then make it seem like that's the true story, when in reality they could have used the foreign country actors, maybe get somebody from there who's a director to help them a little bit, like get information on everything that they need, so at least the info is correct, right? Make sure that the film you're making is benefiting that foreign country, instead of of just making it to make it seem like they're a bad country, right? Like it's just a lot, and it's an interesting question, like, do should foreign country, or should like the question was like, should white actors or white directors be allowed to make a movie about a foreign country? Let me know in the comment below if you guys end up reaching this part, which I assume you guys will be. But that's an interesting question. It also applies to this music stars and everything. I don't know in what way, but it kind of does,
Once was highly
because it becomes a
celebrated by
race
the
thing.
industry, but
Sorry.
at the end of the day, it's an American movie by American directors, American writers, and
Literally what I was saying. Like all of them are American. Like they're definitely gonna win it because of those people. But let's say everybody else wasn't American. Do you think they're gonna win it? No. It would have been hard for them to win it because of who they are. But if it's like a foreign country movie, but it's directed by the American, it's gonna win it, right? So it's fucked up, man.
American production companies. In the end, the movie's success is the American industry's profit. But singers are different because they constantly release music and their success can become constant support from fans.
Yeah.
So an artist's success can rely on the fans more than it relies on the industry itself. And that is not something the industry wants. This is why a song like Despacito, which was already the most popular song worldwide before the Justin Bieber feature, was not recognized at all by Billboard or any other entity from the American music industry. They only accepted the song as a global success when Justin Bieber and his American label were involved and making a profit out of it. This is why the Billboard Music Awards were happy to invite Psy to their ceremony, but they never gave Gangnam Style, the biggest song of the year, a #1. Many factors prevented Psy from achieving this. To start, Psy never left his Korean company to fully sign with an American label, so his music never got proper industry support. Also, at the time, Billboard didn't count YouTube views as streams, making it obvious how the charts didn't reflect what the public was actually listening to. Even to this day, and with many chart adjustments, the Billboard charts are just a reflection of the artists the industry wanted to succeed from the very beginning. Of course, there are exceptions like Gangnam Style, Old Town Road, and some organic TikTok hits. But how far they go and how far they'll keep being recognized depends on the artist's willingness to shake hands with industry people. And again, they don't care if you're a foreign artist, as long as they get to make a profit out of you. But if you don't comply with them, you will get your moment of fame and then be completely shut down from the music industry. Here's how they do it.
Monster
That's
skill.
messed up, man.
Bounty,
Messed
the
up.
quicker picker-upper.
Yeah. Why are they showing a lot of food ad, man? I get it. It's early in the morning, but come on. I should check this song out. J-Hope and J.
The
Cole.
industry endorses its own artists on streaming platforms like Spotify by applying multiple subtle methods. One way is by putting the artist's desire to succeed at the best spots of curated playlists. The biggest one is the Today's Top Hits playlist, which doesn't actually show today's top hits. That it's the ugly, colorless Top 50 playlist. Today's Top Hits is what Spotify wants to be the top hits. Millions of streams from the general public come from this playlist, so being a part of it, it's a vital part of a song's promotion. Spotify says that they decide which artists get to be at the top of the playlist or at the cover based on their intuition and expertise in music trends. But many find these arbitrary decisions suspicious, since Spotify loves giving these special.
Yeah, this is suspicious because they're biased to it, right? The bias to it. Like, completely biased. That's the only thing I can say.
Treatment to certain artists from certain labels.
Yeah.
To think that artists from certain powerful labels are paying their way to the cover of this playlist may not be a crazy thing to think. Spotify also takes advantage of the automatic autoplay feature. When you stop listening to an album you like, they will immediately play you a song they want you to stream. More recently, Spotify updated their homepage to a TikTok-like feed that lets you scroll down endlessly with songs and music videos being automatically played. So while some artists get millions of streams added because of passive streams from curated playlists and the accidental streams from the autoplay feature, BTS get millions of streams deleted because fandom behavior of willingly listening to a song every day is considered bot behavior. So if you compare BTS's unfiltered streams with their filtered streams, you will find out that they are the ones with the highest rate of filter streams. Their streams get deleted more than any other artist. There are even days when their streams are cut in half. But Spotify is not the only platform doing this. Some of BTS's
Yeah, I don't get the urge to cut people's stream when at the end of the day, even if they're not cooperating with you, you're still benefiting you, right? Like Spotify is still benefiting, from like all these fans coming in to listen to BTS, you know? So there's no point of them to like it's so stupid, man. Like you want people to come to your platform to listen to music. They're listening to their music, but they came to your platform. Isn't that your goal for people to come there and listen to music? Whatever music they love, not what you guys want them to. You know? Like it's messed up in a way, man. It doesn't make sense at all. Also, what video is this? The one that they're showing in the background? It looks pretty sick. Let me know what's the song and the video to it. Oh, the song title. Alright, let's get back.
His biggest waves of new fans came from YouTube. Their music videos get so many views that BTS started breaking every YouTube record imaginable, time and time again. So every time BTS broke a record, YouTube changed their algorithm to find ways to delete what they say are inorganic views. But it's pretty clear that their algorithms never worked properly. That's why they keep changing it every time BTS gets a new record. So just to talk about the latest YouTube algorithm change, I'm going to talk about the most successful music videos from a Korean act so far this year. According to YouTube, it's this video. But according to the massive wave of new BTS fans you can find on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube itself, it's On the Street by J-Hope of BTS featuring J. Cole and Like Crazy by Jimin of BTS. But both of these videos get millions of views deleted every day. It's common for YouTube to do this in the first 24 hours with every music video, since it's the day they get the most views. As days pass, fans stop mass streaming and YouTube stops deleting views. But this is BTS, so YouTube is still deleting their music video views today, weeks after they were released. You may still think that YouTube is just deleting fake views, but it's simply impossible for a random Jimin interview to get more views in its first hours than an official and anticipated Jimin music video. It's not crazy to believe that YouTube disproportionately deletes views on BTS's music videos specifically. Let's be logical for a second. These K-pop acts are not bigger than BTS, and that's okay. But it's not okay for BTS to get their views deleted every hour, while these other microscopical songs get views added because people are forced to stream their music videos as YouTube ads.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense at all, man. Like, it just doesn't, at the end of the day, it just comes to, them trying in any ways to, like, block them from succeeding, because ain't no way you guys are saying they have fake views. Like, BTS is the last people we're trying to worry about fake views here, right? Like, they're the last group that you're like, okay, they paid for views, or like they bought views. No, no. And they're not out there. Maybe they're advertising this stuff, but like not as much as they would. Like this artist here, they're just using their fan base to, do that. But hey, they're buying the views according to YouTube. Fuck them, man.
On the other hand, because of these two videos, BTS recently received one of its biggest waves of new fans, probably the biggest since 2021. Yet YouTube wants us to believe that these are the real numbers.
Global takeover group BTS in the studio. There they are.
Probably the most fraudulent practice in the music industry is giving radio importance. At least with streaming platforms, there is this sense of autonomy. Streaming platforms may choose the artists they want to be at the top. They may recommend you their songs and music videos time and time again. They may even steal a stream from you because of their autoplay features and paid ads. But at least there are ways to fight this. Armies may not get BTS ads and recommendations, but they can look for the songs and videos themselves. Armies may not get all of their streams content, but at least the industry recognizes about half of them. But what has no solution except to pay is radio. Radio mysteriously chooses certain songs to get played and stays with those, giving them millions of radio spins and points to music charts that will give them a number one. But here you have Jimin of BTS, who has a number one song and millions of radio play requests by fans and still receives 0 points from radio. And this is not even a crazy foreign song that the American general public may reject. This is a mainstream yet nicely produced pop song in English. But this is just reality. It was not in the industry's plans or in their best interest to make like crazy popular. So when it happened, they once again pretended like BTS doesn't.
Yeah, man. They're just going everywhere in their way to, like, just stop him from, ever succeeding or like breaking more records. Which we're just kind of sad, like they're doing that in any way necessary, not giving him any points for the streams that he's getting and he deserved, you know, like his fans base is out there, trying to listen to his music, but everybody's blocking the music, So even if they stream it, the artist isn't gonna benefit. But the app that they used to listen on may benefit from those streams that their fans did. It's a mind game out here they're playing, man. It's a mind game.
Exist and continue sabotaging their songs. Life Goes On was another radio-friendly song by BTS that got a number one on the Hot 100, but they received a total of 6 spins on US radio. That's 0 points for music charts. Dynamite and Butter were number one songs in English by BTS that were played on the radio to an extent, but the number of spins were not enough to maintain their number one position. They were only able to stay on the top of the charts because people were streaming and buying their songs. That is the main difference with BTS's songs and the industry songs. If you take the millions of radio spins from the majority of the industry's promoted songs, they wouldn't only have bigger falls than BTS. They would simply not be in the chart at all. This is how the industry chooses their success stories from the very beginning. Mass radio play makes a song debut look more successful than what it actually is, and therefore it misleads and attracts the general public. If this doesn't work and the general public still rejects the song, the industry doesn't give up. Mass radio play makes an unsuccessful song stay in the charts with minimal sales and streams from real people. While this happens, songs like Jimin's, which literally got a #1 and millions of people streaming and buying, will still not receive any radio spins. Radio doesn't care about how radio-friendly the song is. They don't care about the millions of faithful listeners they will get if they play BTS music. They don't care about the most requested songs. The industry's plans are the industry's plans.
Looking for an easy way to
Yeah,
run
right.
Windows
Like
on Mac?
they just
Say hello to Parallel
yeah,
Desktop.
man. I don't even know what to
Easily
say
switch
anymore when
between
it comes
Mac
to that
OS and
part.
Windows.
The reason why many talk about the industry as a whole is because all of these music entities are interconnected one way or another. Artists and their labels know that being on the Billboard charts gives the illusion that the general public is listening to a song. And to get a #1 song on this chart, you need streams, sales, and radio play. So music labels, allegedly, pay for all of these radio play, fraudulent streams, and media play because they can be an investment for future real sales and streams. This can be an investment for real popularity and real listeners. If all of these investments fail to convince the general public and the label is bold enough, they will continue paying for these tactics to stay on the charts while no real people are streaming or buying the song. These failed industry promoted songs that no one is listening to will then be nominated for Grammys with the excuse that they care about quality and not popularity.
There we go again with the same bullshit. You know, they start to make stuff up. You know, like, oh, this song is better in this way and this way. You know, even though like in reality nobody really listened to it, as they said in the video. But they just want to make an excuse not to give credit where it's due. Like, hey, this song did better. It got played more. You know, at the end of the day, what's the whole point of making a song and, like, you know, putting it out there for people to listen to it and appreciate it, you know, and probably use the platforms. But if a song doesn't do any of that, why award it? You know, it might be a good song, like an artist might have put work in, you know, which isn't taken away from them. But at the end of the day, you also got to get a song that, you know, people are listening. Because let's just get this shit straight. The whole point of the industry is for them to make money off the artist. So if the song that an artist drop isn't making you money, you know, is it really deserving to win that? But, you know, I'm not saying any of those should happen to an artist, but, you know, that's just the sad reality of it. So if the BTS is doing that, or one of the members is doing that numbers, why not give them credit? You know, why not give them credit? It just become a race thing. Like, whenever a foreign country artist does a popular song like Despacito, like, that song was popular for years. Gangnam Style was popular too. Like, any of those stuff didn't get anything, you know, at all. Even though it probably had a lot of streams and downloads. It's crazy.
These Grammys will then elevate the artist and the music label's reputation, and then they will get more money invested in them. This money will then be used to buy media play, radio play, streams, and the circle continues. If a massively promoted song or album is successful, the artist may get their investment money back, as well as the obvious Grammys. This will give the artist the most important factor to make money: reputation. Allegedly, music labels pay way more money to streaming platforms for promotion than they receive from streams. The money paid for radio spins can go from thousands of dollars to multi-million-dollar settlements. And getting this investment back as sales is not as common because buying music is not a popular enough practice amongst the general public. Musicians rarely make profit from their music. They earn money from advances, merchandise, royalties, licensing fees, and concerts. That's why that #1 is so important. That's why many would rather not make any profits now and get a Grammy later. It's like being influencers. Their actual content may not make a lot of profit, but the reputation and popularity of their name can get them fashion deals, commercials, and a time slot in a music festival. These are only examples, of course. There are many variables and outcomes. Sometimes artists invest in radio play and end up making a lot more money from sales or concerts. Sometimes an artist has a good relationship with the industry for years, and then they stop shaking hands with industry people and they receive 0 Grammy nominations for an extremely popular, critically acclaimed album. When it comes to BTS, the Western industry's main interest.
But I love Trevor, man. Trevor, oh my god, this guy's probably one of the funniest dude in the industry, and he has no filter at all. I mean, he does say he's joking like a funny way, so you know, I felt in this moment, I don't know, at least I would like to feel like BTS felt like they belong somewhere. Even though we know like the Grammys was probably just using that cloud, to get more views. But yeah, man, let's get back to it. I just want to put that out.
Is ratings and social media engagement, because that is direct money for the Western industry. BTS's 5 Grammy nominations are historic for a number of reasons, but their lack of wins show the obvious message the Grammys are trying to send them. You can't be invited, so we have the ratings, but you are not our friends, so you won't win. In the end, the industry has the first and last say, and this doesn't only happen in the Western music industry. You won't believe how much the South Korean music industry tries to sabotage the only artists capable of bringing billions of dollars to their economy. Again, this is because BTS are not part of their elite. The 3 major music labels in South Korea control the entertainment industry. They have enough power to blacklist artists from independent labels like BTS and make the media downplay their achievements. There isn't a common practice of deleting sales like in American music charts, but what they would do is freeze the charts and then apologize for a technical error, so millions of BTS sales are not counted once again. This is how the different.
Yeah, man, that's messed up. Even your own country, people just sabotage you to not succeed. Like it's messed up. You know, in a way where it doesn't make sense at all. Like you all see what BTS is doing in like a fast, rapid speed. They're achieving what probably would never have been achieved if the group wasn't formed. So it's crazy that the own people are trying to sabotage them because they're not in the elite four or whatever. Like that just brings me to, if you guys seen my reaction to August D. Hugang, the freedom of expression might be your death, or whatever. The one of the lyrics he said that. That's literally it. They cannot express themselves freely, without people saying, oh, blah blah blah, you didn't make this much sales, oh blah blah, this wasn't good, like this quality of the song wasn't this good, oh, like if you're not in this label, then like they just have a lot of excuses, and they don't let this artist express themselves in a way. Like it's an artist's decision, or like the with the level too, to like make a decision. BTS doesn't want to use the industry. The industry want to use them. Okay, that's just the most what easy way to like say it and understand it. Like they don't want to use the industry. The industry wants to use them, but they don't want to do that. You know, BTS doesn't want to do that, so the industry find way to like hey, it's either you do it our way or you're not getting it your way. You know, but somehow they're still succeeding regardless of what the industry is doing. But let's get back to this, man.
Music entities inside each music industry are interconnected. They need one another to function. Sometimes they are one and the same. If you thought Billboard and Rolling Stone were at some point competing for who has the best charts, think about how they are both owned by Banks Media Corporation, which also owns Variety, Deadline, The Hollywood Reporter, and an interest in music business worldwide. So if BTS is still the biggest group in the world, but they don't have a good relationship with the music industry, here you will have Guess Who, Billboard, Rolling Stone, Variety, and The Hollywood Reporter making a profit out of BTS by selling exclusive photo shoots while at the same time writing negative articles undermining their success. This person said something interesting. Billboard is nothing but an ad-selling business, the literal definition of a billboard. So why are you surprised the artists Billboard promoted since day one end up
like I've heard so many artists like Eminem, right? Snoop Dogg. Uh, there's a lot of artists that I'm forgetting that haven't won any Grammys at all, and they have, oh my God, some tremendous music that they have made, yet they have never won any Grammys, right? So it wouldn't even be easy for, like, a foreign country artist to win it, when they're pretty much getting blocked every way they turn. So yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff about, Grammys and shit, so
succeeding in the Billboard charts.
Gee, what was the edge out there today?
Hard work and the exfoliating bar. So smooth.
Like I said, there are not many artists that make money from their music, but music sales are still an important factor to get a #1 song or album, so they will digitally sell their songs for cents and their albums for only a couple of dollars. This makes a lot of points for charts, but not so much money for the artist. They will also do the classic bundle album sales by selling concert tickets and different kinds of merch like t-shirts, socks, underwear, cups, lollipops, energy drinks, and even condoms, along with a copy of their album. Charts will then count these merch sales as album sales. However, BTS's main strategy to get their #1 albums and songs is to focus on music sales, real sales. BTS has never bundled their albums with any kind of merchandise or concert tickets. Their biggest sin, which the industry loves to point out, is the fact that they release a maximum of 4 versions of an album. But these were only special occasions. The norm for BTS is to release 2 versions of an album, something completely harmless if you compare it to the insane sales tactics by other music labels. Fans being encouraged to buy 2 or 4 versions of the same album because they come with a unique photo card is nothing compared to K-pop singers releasing 7 or 13 versions of the same album. BTS's 2 or 4 versions of an album don't have the purpose to maximize album sales, or they would be way cheaper. BTS's album versions are intended to actually make money, and their number of versions usually has something to do with the album's concept. If they think one version of an album is enough to capture the album's concept, then they will release only one version. If the album's concept works better in 2 opposite works, then they release 2 versions. It's as simple as that. Another common practice to maximize sales is to release remixes of a song. All of these remixes, sales, and streams will be combined and help the main song climb in music charts. BTS very occasionally releases multiple remixes of a song, and armies buy these remixes to help BTS stay on the charts, since they receive literally 0 points from radio and their streams are cut in half. But while BTS is being criticized by the industry for this remix tactic, other artists are celebrated and called smart and iconic for doing exactly the same.
yeah. Yeah. It's starting to just show you the true color of the industry when it comes to BTS, Like Justin Bieber did the remix to Despacito, and then there's a bunch of other remix that they did too. Like Selena Gomez just did the remix with Rammer Come Down. I don't know, that's a popular song to me. Has it won a Grammy yet? Make it make sense. Rammer, Come Down. That song took the global by storm. And I haven't heard any awards given to them at all. Selena just did a remix with them. And Kulosa, Waxilado, whatever his name was. His name is somewhere there, man. Don't flame me for that, okay? Kulosa, he did a remix with, what was her name? What was her name? She sung, what was that song? It was Young Thug. What was the song? Anyway, man, I've seen a lot of popular songs being remixed by, a lot of American artists, and, I haven't seen them being awarded for anything at all, or being even on the chart at all. So, yeah, man, BTS, man, shout out to them, man. They're doing everything in their power to thrive in this industry, and they're
The industry and multiple fandoms think they are doing something by accusing armies of mass buying BTS albums and songs, without realizing that by doing so, they are admitting that the quote-unquote organic hits from the charts are there with industry support and not fandom support. The industry and multiple fandoms criticize and laugh at BTS for not having radio points, when they have no control over that. They will have to pay for that just like every other artist is doing. The industry and multiple fandoms criticize and laugh at armies for mass buying when all they're doing is balance the unfair treatment by the industry. If BTS is not willing to pay for radio, which is illegal, or pay for playlisting in streaming platforms, then armies will buy every copy of BTS music available. BTS depends on their fandom and their fandom only. That's what terrifies the industry. BTS are able to stay on the charts while actually making money from their music. That money goes to the BTS members and their Korean label, while the Western music industry receives nothing. Even the distribution deal BTS.
That's what I was saying. Like, the industry platforms are there to make money off the artists. So if they don't make, which doesn't make sense at all, for them to promote an artist who isn't making any sales or getting any listeners on their song, they'll pick that artist over BTS, who's like making noises everywhere, every corner you go. Like, isn't their goal to just make the money? But hey, they also have priorities of, the foreign artists, we're not gonna prioritize. Like, it's so dumb at all. So like I told, like, BTS is just taking a non-traditional way of doing their own stuff and making their own money without involving the industry. That's why they're kind of mad at them. Like, they want to make money every time BTS does, which BTS has plan of not doing that. So
has with an American label benefits BTS more than it benefits the American label. So the label prioritizes their actual signed artists and dismisses BTS. That's what makes the industry mad. That's why the industry has ridiculed them so much that fandoms have convinced themselves that BTS are the corrupt ones instead of being the against all odds winners in a corrupt industry. And this is beyond the industry being petty. Other fandoms are convinced that the general public's support is better than fandom support, because that is, according to the industry, organic success. But as you can see, there is nothing organic about these tactics. There is nothing organic about an industry choosing its own success stories and sabotaging the ones overcoming their unfair obstacles. What is organic is having a fan base of real people actually buying and streaming the music. You can see this
industry is just putting itself in like the worst possible position. Like, it's a sad reality that they'll want to choose a successful artist when in reality there's already like a successful one. It doesn't work at all. You cannot pick who's successful. No, it doesn't work like that. The person who's successful is gonna show, and it's usually BTS when in that situations, right? We have seen them, the songs and stuff, numbers and sales, like everything is there. But they wanna ignore that and like choose whoever they think is most successful. Like, come on, man. Come on, just give credit where it's due, and like pay these people for their hard work, like, choose a success. Man, fuck out here.
Millions of real people in sold-out stadium tours, something that the majority of the #1 artists and quote-unquote million sellers cannot accomplish. The general public may be tricked into streaming a song. They may follow a music trend on TikTok, but they are not always willing to buy expensive concert tickets. The general public moves on and forgets, but an army of fans is able to make an album or song successful without the artist paying for industry support. Real organic success is when an artist transforms the general public into fans, and that's what BTS does with every release. The fandom's numbers only go up. This is clearly reflected in the percentage of fans who consider themselves only ARMY. The majority of BTS fans are not K-pop fans. The majority of BTS fans are part of the general public. And it is easily understandable when you look at the fandom's waves of new fans.
You also gotta understand why people become BTS fan. The reason I am, or I like their work, is because of the quality of their work. It's amazing. It's beyond expected from an artist. You'll normally think an artist is just there to, make their little money and, move on with their life. They're not there. But they actually want the music to stick forever with their fan, Like that's what they want to do. Like the music is relatable in many ways. It cannot be the song that they dropped today, but it can be the song that they already dropped. You know, like there's just so many valuable stuff that, you know, BTS bring on the table, you know, which people just turn their back on it and, like, you know, not bring a light to it. That's one thing that, you know, attract fans to BTS. At least that's what attracted me, you know. The creativity in their work, the detail in everything that they do, the dancing, like everything is just perfect, you know. And people don't want to appreciate that, but, you know, they're doing their own thing. So big shout out to them anyway.
And realize that they have nothing to do with K-pop and everything to do with BTS's performance. So why would an artist prefer the momentary passive support from the general public when they could have the constant active support from a fandom? Why would artists prefer a theater or arena concert with people who only know their one or two TikTok hits instead of a sold-out stadium with people who know all of their songs? Why is constantly convincing the general public to be your fan not organic success? I think it's very hypocritical for fandoms to cry about how the charts have no meaning anymore every time BTS gets a number one. Yet they love celebrating the number ones from other artists who got there with weird tactics, to say the least. If now anyone can fool the charts and what BTS is doing is so easy, then why aren't more artists getting number ones only with sales? Why are the charts irrelevant only when BTS succeeds in them? And don't get me wrong, the charts are obviously corrupt. The obvious message they try to send every time BTS gets a number one shows how aware they are of their corruption. The obvious humiliation from the industry's actions and media articles show how the industry doesn't care at all about their little mafia getting exposed. They don't care because they know that the general public will keep falling for their tactics. The general public will still believe that a song they don't even like is organically successful because they've listened to it on the radio hundreds of times. The general public will still believe that their accidental monthly stream in Spotify doesn't count much. Fandoms will still believe that what's best for their favorite artist is the industry and the general public's support, rather than their own fandom buying the music and concert tickets. But every time ARMY helps BTS succeed in the same music industries that sabotage them, they prove a point. And no matter what the industry does, BTS will make money with no American music label in between, and not shaking hands with industry people. No matter what the industry does, BTS will continue having the fandom support others fail to conquer.
That's sick, man. That's sick. That's why the industry is terrified of BTS, man. Big shout out to BTS, man. They're doing one hell of a job that, you know, most of these artists are failing to do. So, you know, that's one thing that I can say it separates them from, you know, the majority of the other artists. I mean, the other artists are still putting in work, but, you know, BTS is just, damn, man, take a break or something. But, you know, they're never gonna step off the gas. So that's good job on the end, you know. And yeah, man, that's just the industry, you know. And I told you a bunch of times, the industry needs them, but they don't need the industry. They have their way of doing stuff. They're gonna keep doing that, you know. They're never gonna give up. So appreciate you all for, you know, recommending me to check this one out. And, you know, if you guys got more stuff, let me know in the comment. And, you know, as usual, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bell notification, and, you know, give the video a thumb up, you know. And yeah, let me know what's your thought, and, you know, give me some feedback of some stuff that I can improve, you know, because I assume I'm not perfect, but if I am, anyway, thanks, man. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.